Hello everybody, it's your boy N here. I'm coming at you guys with another YouTube video. So, as it goes with breach tracking, I'm gonna hit you with the Serena breach tracking build. So, without further ado, let's get right on into today's video. So, starting off with Serena. With her main build, we are of course going to be taking advantage of the gunning stuff. So we're going to go with mid-air maneuvering so we can take advantage of maneuvering in the air, or just flying with the grapple and stuff with the movement in the air. So basically just mid-air maneuvering. Next up, we've got Heim, or him, sorry. I'm not sorry. You can argue with me in the comments. I'm joking, I love you guys. Yeah, so him. You can use this just to get around and just for a little bit of extra movement. This can also make your teammates a little bit faster as well. So yeah, this is a good red mod. You don't even need to really use a red mod on Serena, but this is still a good one to use. As for build, my build with Serena hasn't changed very much, but we first start off by building for health. So with health, we go with increased HP as well as HP amplification. And that should pretty much be good for your health. You could also use stim acceleration or stim accelerant, but not really necessary. HP amp is better in my opinion. Next up, we are going to go straight in with the maximize mods. So with Serena, because we're not using skills really don't matter. So we can slap on maximize conservation, maximize range, and also maximize duration. This is going to give us more duration, more cost, and more range, of course. But with Serena, we still need to focus on cooldown because we got to have that perfect loop with her. So for cooldown with Serena, we are going to be going with MP conversion as well as nimble fingers. And then we're also going to slap on just, focus on fire. And then our final module we will be using for cooldown is going to be multi-talented. So we're going to be taking advantage of using dimension skills, and then we will be able to get the cooldown from there. Next up, just one more touch because we're mobbing a lot and we don't really want to be stopping / reaching the ground too much. So we're just going to throw on MP collector with Serena. That's pretty much it. Now, with this setup, you shouldn't have any problems with MP or with looping your abilities and all of that good stuff. Now for your trigger mod with Serena. With trigger mod, you have two options. You can either go with RK Leak, which will give you more skill cost whilst flying and using a continuous skill. So you use her one to proc RK Leak and then you go onwards from there. Other than that, your second option is Kuiper Hollow Points with a blue. The way that we the reason we want to use the blue is the more base recoil you have, the more this triggers, and that's pretty much it. So you want it to be triggering as much as you can, so higher recoil is technically better. So that is your second option. In this instance, I am going to go with RK Leak on Serena, just because I kind of feel like it flows a little bit better, specifically inside of this mission. So that is the Serena build done and dusted. So now we are going to go on to the next part of this, which is going to be the reactor. But before we do that real quick, I just want to slap the two weapons that we are going to be using in, or you could call it 3 weapons because it's completely optional on the third. The two ideal weapons are going to be the Restored Relic for your number 1, and then the Albion Cavalry Gun for your number 2. So Cavalry Gun is going to be a second weapon, and then the third weapon is completely optional, but let's just say I'm going to slap a Thunder Cage in there because it's kind of a fun weapon to use at this point. So for the reactor, you want to just go with cooldown duration up. It doesn't matter whether it's a fire reactor, non-attribute, tech, toxic. Anything on this reactor is completely fine as long as the two substats are cooldown and duration up, just so we can maximize her abilities just a little bit better. Now, external components with Serena. External components for Serena are, well, fairly simple. When you are playing solo, you just want to run the full Ascending Armory set. So this is going to be pretty much everything that you are going to want to run. The ideal stats will be max HP, MP recovery out of combat, max MP, MP recovery in combat, MP recovery modifier and defense, and then max shield, toxic resistance, or shield recovery modifier. With this as well, you do want to get max HP on all of the components and defense across them all, just because this is going to help Serena's health scale even higher. So that's the external component sorted. If you are playing with an Enzo that is giving you ammo, then you can use 2 pieces of Shell Crusher over here as well. just because Enzo will be compensating. However, in this instance, I am just going to be going in with solo gameplay, so I'm going to go with full ascending. Next up, we have the arcade tuning tree, and this I completely forgot to wipe, but yeah, there you go. The arcade tuning tree is over here. With the tree, you're just going to want to go down, grab a little bit of extra health, and because we are focusing on nothing but gunning, we are just going to go to the side over here and go all the way down to the enhanced double strike, which will give us more multi-hit chance and multi-hit damage. Next up, we're going to go all the way up to enhanced weapon attack and explosive attack, and also melee attack. We're not going to be using a sword in this, but the explosive and melee attack is going to be very nice anyways. With this, just to wrap everything up, we are going to be using defense neutralization up top over here. This is because Serena's fourth ability does deal skill damage, and defense neutralization is always good to just melt stuff faster. So that's everything we are going to go for on the arcade tuning tree. So now let's have a look at the weapons for Serena. With Serena's weaponry, it's pretty simplistic. You still want to go with the restored relic with 3 fire rate cores, 2 fire cores is going to be essential on here because the weapon has inbuilt fire. We are just going to be pushing up on that element anyways. So with this, this is the build you would like to be using with Serena. She just wants as much ammo and everything in her reserve because we are going to just let it stack. We're going to be using ammo conservatively a little bit at the start, then you can just go all in and just spray everything anyways. Next up, the Albion cavalry gun. So with the cavalry gun, this is what you would want to go with for your cores. Fire rate, chill, and multi-hit chance, and fire rate is going to be essential. Then for the build, you're just going to want to go full multi and crit on here. So a little bit of multi and a little bit of crit on there is going to work out very nicely with Serena. So this is going to give you the best setup. Next up, the Thunder Cage. Thunder Cage is a weapon I made a video on the other day, and honestly, it's a fun weapon. Would you want to take this as a third weapon? You absolutely can. If you do, make sure to put Firing Fiesta on this one, just so that you actually have the unlimited ammo loop with Serena, because that is quite important. But yeah, that's going to be what you would want to go with for the Thunder Cage, at least with Serena. So now that we've got that out of the way, let's quickly have a look at the inversions. For inversions, you're going to want to go with skill cost with Serena, and then you are also going to want to go with weak point on here because we will be using the relic, of course. Then to wrap this all up, you are going to use Neuro Stim again for HP and MP. Just one last thing as well, you're going to want to grab this annoying little dog over here. He's not annoying, but you're going to want to grab the dog that has the ammo regeneration on there, just to help Serena out a tiny touch with ammo as well. So the dog is another thing that you would want to kind of cover. So with that as well, let's quickly have a look at the last thing on this setup, and that's going to be Ancestor mods. With Ancestor mods with Serena, you basically just want to get a little bit of max health, because her max DPS cap is 39,000. You can basically get a little bit of health on your Ancestor mod, and that is enough. If you do this though, be prepared to drop multi-talented, because this will take you upscale and then you can keep going from there. In this instance, I got duration up on here as well as health, and duration up is important, especially with the loop. If you look at my fourth ability now, I have a 6-second cooldown to 22-second duration up, so my loop isn't perfect. Ideally, you would want cooldown, duration up, and health. Most important being health for the full-on loop. Duration up being a second most important, but the main thing is you want to make sure that you have a perfect loop with Serena. So that's pretty much it. Despite what I've shown, I'm still going to be using this Ancestor mod over here because the duration up is fun. And honestly, once you get a taste of using Serena without the multi-talented loop, it is like drugs, and you definitely want to hold on to it and not bother going back with that. So that's Serena sorted. Now for actual gameplay on this, let me pull out the 9. So for Serena gameplay inside of Breach Surge, Breach Tracking, sorry, this is what you would want to be going with. So Serena, she's very, very simplistic. The way you're going to play her is the following. You go in, you use your fourth ability, you shoot your first ability, and then you just use the relic. I'd say at the beginning of the run, you don't want to be going too crazy with shooting your relic all the time and going everywhere. Even just tapping the trigger here and there is enough to basically get your ammo consumption and basically build up a little reserve of ammo. You can see here I'm already reserving around 20 to 30 bullets. Once I am reserving a little bit less, I'm just taking it easy on shooting, because with Serena you can do that and you do get away with it. So with this as well, you can see that I'm going to use my third ability there, and this is where I kind of stop holding back a little bit. With me, because I am using that duration and my loop isn't perfect, my third ability is a little bit slower than I would like it to be, but honestly playing Serena without multi-talented is so worth it. I don't mind waiting an extra second to reload. But you can see here, just in general, this is pretty much all you'd want to do. Just keep an eye on your fourth ability loop with Serena, and just jump around, or well, fly around and just nuke everything with the relic. I'm sure there's going to be more optimal pathing / routes that you can take, but just in general, this is going to be all you actually need. When you are struggling with ammo or anything of the sort, you're just going to want to use your first ability, and that will allow you to basically get arcade leak back, so your cost will be reduced, as well as everything else going crazy. I guess you could use Kuiper Hollow points as well, because I mean all your ammo is technically going to be or your MP is going to be completely returned by MP collector. So yeah, you can just see how this is going. I consistently have like almost above 50 ammo, not really worried about it too much. And then we make it to the first phase over here. With this again, Serena just nukes everything. I am using the first ability a little bit more, but it doesn't really make that much of a difference. Serena is just capable of melting everything, and I don't think that's a surprise to anyone at this point. She's a fun Descendant, at least in here, and I really do like moving around with her, and honestly, it was, for once, actually a ton of fun. Not gonna lie to you guys. And trust me, saying Serena's fun is the last thing you would hear from me specifically. So yeah, this was actually genuinely worthwhile. I think, if anything, the tile sets are really nicely tuned towards Serena, especially with how the way there's lots of obstacles are on the floor and stuff like that, and Serena just completely ignores it and relics everything. So, you know, there's definitely that going for her. Other than that, I think we are coming up to the midpoint of this run. Just spinning around with Serena is fun. You could also use the bike tech with Serena, which is basically using the bike and then jumping off and using the second ability instantly for the wings to pop out and for you to go flying and being boosted forward at crazy fast speeds. But you can just see in general over here, all I do is take advantage of the grapple, shoot the relic, shoot these elites down, and well, just basically chill, have a good time. This is the boss that is going to spawn in now, and this would be the first instance of where you would want to use something other than the relic. Can you still use the relic? Yes. Would it make a difference if you use a weapon though? Yes. Because you can see here, the cavalry gun is a nice little way to melt stuff a little bit faster. So yeah, you can see how this goes. Honestly, I don't even play Serena in here, but I genuinely, oh sorry, I just don't play Serena in general, but I can't deny it was actually a lot of fun playing her in here. Maybe I don't hate Serena as much as I thought I did, but yeah, this is kind of what you would expect. Just gotta make sure you're looping, using your abilities and everything, and you're basically good to go. Now comes the final boss fight. With the final boss fight, again, you can see me using a relic here and absolutely melting him. But I also remembered I have the Thunder Cage in my inventory. So I pulled the Thunder Cage out and tanked my time in favor of shooting the guy with the Thunder Cage and watching the unique ability proc. I also realized this was the bit where I also hadn't put Firing Fiesta on there, but it's still fine. Thunder Cage still did a good chunk of damage. We have to grab the blue box for good luck, and I got that run done in just over 4 minutes. If I didn't use the Thunder Cage and just used the relic for absolutely everything, it probably would have been about 20 seconds faster or something, but you know what? Completely fine. Doesn't really make that much of a difference anyways. But yeah, that's pretty much everything that you need to know about Serena for breach tracking, and I hope you guys have enjoyed. If you did, please do smash that like button, and if you are new here, please do consider subscribing. I make plenty of videos on the first Descendant, and yeah, I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace!